Donald Trump has yet to make a public appearance since a mob of his supporters stormed Congress on Wednesday. But he is putting out a new video statement. On that recording, Trump says for the first time that he will go peacefully.
A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power.
On the recording, Trump also denounces members of the mob that he'd whipped up on Wednesday before the violence began, saying that the, quote, defiled the seat of American democracy and that they will pay for their crimes. The video is the closest Trump has come to publicly acknowledging he lost the November election. He doesn't concede, though. He never mentions President-elect Joe Biden by name. Lindsay Duncombe is our senior Washington editor, and she joins me now live. 12 days now, Lindsay, until the Trump administration ends, noon on January the 20th. There are, though, intensifying calls to push him out sooner. Will the message that we got from him in that tweet, will that stop their effort?
Well, it won't necessarily stop the effort. I think we can continue to see both Republicans move away from the president and the calls from Democrats and others for him to either resign or be forced to leave office to get louder. The question is whether, given the time frame and the lingering support that the president still has, whether that will actually make a difference with these different mechanisms. The one thing that Democrats are saying they want to see happen is the 25th Amendment invoked. And that would take a vote of Congress that would have to, in the face of a president's challenge, a vote of cabinet, which would have to withstand, if the president objects, a majority in Congress. That's something that the president's own former chief of staff thinks should happen. Here's what John Kelly told CNN on the phone last night.
Cabinet should meet and have a discussion. I don't think it'll happen, but I think the cabinet should meet and discuss this because the behavior has been outrageous from the president.
Now, you heard Kelly say there that he doesn't think it'll happen. And one of the reasons for that, Heather, is because there are reports from media in the U.S. that Vice President Mike Pence, who would have to be central to those efforts, does not want to see the 25th Amendment invoked. So with Pence not on board, it's off the table. That goes to the next way you can remove a president from office, which we're familiar with, impeachment. And the Democrats say this is something they will move forward. In fact, speaking on CNN today, one of the top Democrats said we could see a vote on impeachment in the House as early as next week. Of course, in order for the president to actually be removed from office through that process, there has to be a trial in the Senate. And there's not a lot of time to make that happen. Plus, we know that the president still does have supporters in Congress. So could the Senate take it up, have the trial, remove the president from office? Possible, but not likely. And one of the incentives potentially for people to go down the impeachment route, Heather, is once a president is impeached, he can't run for office again. And certainly maintaining Trumpism and teasing running again is something we have heard from Donald Trump.
Lindsay, we hear also in that video statement last night, Trump talk about his outrage at the violence. He appears to be disavowing his supporters, those who smashed their way onto Capitol Hill, but in disavowing them, he's sort of come full about face from what he said before that mob moved in, what he said to whip them up at the rally. Could he be facing, still at this point, legal consequences for that?
The Justice Department federally has not ruled out, Heather, that their investigation could go that far in terms of the president's language and provoking insurrection. That's one of the reasons why there's increased speculation that Donald Trump may actually be looking to pardon himself before he leaves office. That is something that has never been done before. It's something that would be very likely to provoke reaction from a Biden Justice Department because legal scholars are divided as to whether that's even possible.
Lindsay, thank you very much. CBC News senior Washington editor Lindsay Duncombe.